Good morning, everybody. It's Victoria Lorient Fabish, holistic psychotherapist, registered psychotherapist, and I'm here and I want to give some goodness and I want to talk about worthiness, a feeling of worthiness. Hope everyone's doing well. Do join me as we journey through this moment together. And once you do join me, please share the video. Share. I wanted to talk about something that I hear every day in the office. And I myself have experienced that. It takes me back to my 20s when I can remember a moment in my life in which it really crystallized the experience or the knowing that no matter what's happening, no matter what kudos I get, no matter what good things are coming to me. I remember being in the middle of I was living in Mexico at the time, working in the hotel business a long time ago, in my 20s. And I was receiving tremendous applause for something I had done for the guests, for the 300 or so guests. And we were a team of entertainment activities coordinators. And this is, again, my 20s. And it was a tremendously, beautiful moment, a culmination of a lot of work done, and a lot of kudos was coming to me and my team. And I remember experiencing profound unworthiness feeling, like, why are you giving me all this applause or all this good stuff? And I just remember that experience. And it really set me on a journey. It made me want to decide to move back to Canada and enter into the acting world. Actually, after that, I just basically decided that, I was not happy there. And that sort of came, and went and came and went, this feeling of profound unworthiness. And, obviously since then I've done a lot of personal work, and now I teach this work, and many clients come to me, and the feeling of unworthiness and like you don't deserve anything good is like a river that runs through you or me or whomever. And this is the thing I want to address. The courageous conversation that I want to address is so important if you're going to proceed and live your best life, And so the number one road out of a feeling of unworthiness, or a feeling of that you don't have value or that you don't matter, because when you let that live, and I'm going to talk about what the road out is, but when you let that live in you, you make all kinds of choices that are incredibly difficult. Hi Susan, how are you? Saint Susan, I love that. It's such an important thing, because you make decisions and you allow people in your life that are not going to serve you. You allow people to take advantage of you. You say yes when you don't want to say yes. I mean, oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I've said yes when I don't want to say yes, in so many circumstances. I don't do that anymore. I really, really don't. Hi, Joanne. I really just don't. I don't say yes when I don't want to say yes. But, I really have to tell you that, if you find yourself, pleasing and saying yes and doing what it is that you don't want to be doing, you probably have got that unworthiness story going on hard, like I did. Like it was hard in me. And it's usually from family of origin stuff, or bullying, or from a toxic boss situation. Good morning, everyone who's joining us. I'm so grateful that you're here, and make sure that you share this, because obviously this is really valuable information, and I really want people to get access to my expertise and to the information that I'm putting out, because that is why I'm on this planet, to put it out there. So please share this and have other people join in. But I would say that the key on many levels here, I'm just going to share a little bit as well as we're doing this. I'm just going to move the camera a tiny little bit. Sorry. Hello. See my beautiful orchids? Woo! So excited. I want you to know that that the truth of the matter is that the road out of the profound toxic sludge. And Susan says bullying by my mom. You love your parents, etc. But Susan says that there was bullying by her mom. But I mean, everyone's got a story about how they didn't feel, loved in the right way, or, cared for in the right way, or bullied by children, or, maybe they were sick. I have a client who had kidney failure, and so she felt like a burden, and so that developed a feeling of unworthiness. Or about, other people who were, sexually abused, or maybe not as dramatic as that, just even a feeling of everybody was busy. Mom and dad were always busy, busy, busy. And so there was a feeling of, where am I in all of this? So it doesn't have to be super, massive abuse drama. It can simply be people are busy trying to make a living, and they don't have time to be taking care of the kids on an emotional level. As long as there's food on the table, we're good to go, kind of thing. And so life goes. And if you don't take care of that, the story just keeps perpetuating. And it gives me, I feel tears in my eyes when I think about how many people walk the planet not feeling worthy of, feeling good or having kudos. I mean, there I was in my 20s receiving all of this applause. I was, if people have enjoyed me, receiving all of this applause for a job well done. And here I was thinking, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. And Joanne says, even being adopted, absolutely. That's a big reason that many, many people feel like they don't belong or are not worthy. And so, or many disappointments in life, things just not going your way, not getting the jobs that you want, not getting, people who are suffering from, they want to work, but they can't work because they're not getting the jobs that they want, because in their industry that they want to work in, they don't get, the opportunity. So many reasons externally that the human condition, that the person will ingest the feeling of unworthiness, and will kind of be like lulled into a trance of unworthiness. And it is like a trance. It's like a river that runs through you. And I just want to say that, I have felt it. Many accomplished people feel it. And, and even though I do this work, I feel it still today, periodically, a feeling of unworthiness. So it's important to always cultivate the counteracting force. And what is that counteracting force to a feeling of unworthiness? Well, very simply, it's not that simple. It's simple in concept, but to apply it, to do it day in, day out, is extremely crucial. And so the number one road out of a feeling of unworthiness, ready everybody? Drum roll, please. Self-compassion. Self-compassion. Just take that in as a word. Self-compassion. In other words, you are not allowing yourself to be so hard on yourself when you are, say, making a mistake. That is, I think, part of the journey, is to not be so hard on yourself when you're making a mistake. Can you relate to that? And can you imagine yourself being self-compassionate when you are in a place where you've made an error? That's the beginning of the road out. Is to first start with the realization that you get to feel self-compassion, even if you've made a mistake. And that's the first line, the first line of defense, essentially, when you are against experiencing unworthiness, is begin the journey toward being kind to yourself in the face of you having made an error. And the other road out would be to understand that you need to be very loyal to yourself. Loyal to yourself. That is huge. Loyalty to self, and it may not be something that, you can do easily because you are experiencing all kinds of people saying, no, you need to do this, you need to do that, pulling you, do this, do that. Well, imagine what it's like to feel loyal to yourself, to prioritize yourself, to say, well, I need to do this for me in the moment. I need to do this for me. What is that like? That's what I think is kind of interesting, is can you prioritize yourself? And then another one I want to give you is personalized self-care. Personalized self-care. That's huge. So what does personalized self-care mean? Well, you have to do a little bit of journal writing and a little bit of introspection to understand what your unique needs are. And that doesn't come easily, because people say, well, I need to give myself what what it is that someone else gives themselves. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Please share the video as you come on, guys. I need to give myself what my friend gives herself. Well, maybe that's not what she needs. Maybe your friend needs to go for a long run, and that's self-loyalty. Well, it isn't self-loyalty to me to do that, let me tell you. Self-loyalty to me would be to, possibly go and experience some nature and be in by the water. That's my preferred experience, is go and just cancel everything and go to the water and be there and meditate. That would be one very important personalized self-care for Victoria. What is your personalized self-care for you? Or another one would be to experience a sense of beauty. So I love orchids, and so I might go to a sanctuary for orchids. As you can see, my orchids are amazing. I speak to them every day. They nurture me, they love me, and I love them. But that's one of the things that I mean by personalized self-care. And, the other one that is huge, and I took so long to do this, because if you come from family culture that kind of makes you wrong all the time, it's hard to do this. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate. But self-forgiveness. Because if you're told that, you're not great and you're not a good person and your personality's kind of terrible, and that self-forgiveness is a brave act of courage. It's a brave act of courage. But all of these things lead to self-worthiness. And they break up that trance, that comatose state of, I'm not worthy. And I don't mean that in a funny way. I literally mean like you don't feel worth having any kind of goodness and love and compassion. And if you're, and to me, that is just such a walking through life like a zombie, essentially. So when I think about these types of things, I think about where can you pick moments to infuse the antidote to unworthiness. And I would say when you've made a mistake. That's the first line. That's the most clear experience. If I've made even a small mistake, I can automatically go into a lot of self-loathing or self-criticism. And so I will quickly go into self-compassion. Self-compassion, very quickly. I will just very immediately just say an affirmation, and my favorite affirmation is, I am treasured, valued, and worthy, no matter what I think, say, or do. You've heard me say this before, anyone who's been on before. I am treasured, valued, and worthy, no matter what I think, say, or do. Say it. Say it. I am treasured, valued, and worthy, no matter what I think, say, or do. Okay? So these are simple concepts, but they are not easy to employ on a regular basis. But it's the only way you're going to rewire your pathways toward a feeling of worthiness and toward a feeling of, that's great, Lisa, say that often. To rewire your brain toward worthiness requires that you pick a time where you feel unworthy and promote worthiness. You cannot develop patience without irritability. You cannot develop acceptance without a feeling of aversion. In other words, you need that opposite feeling, the feeling of the negative feeling, in order to have your being begin to cultivate the equal and positive opposite feeling. You need that as a motivator almost. It's like a person who's doing a marksmanship with bow and arrow. They need to go back, release, so that you get to your target. But the back is your feeling of that negative feeling. Could be like going back. It's like feeling, oh, I made a mistake. How terrible. That's not good. And then that goes back. That generates power. And then you have to remind yourself to not stay in the negativity. And then you go, oh yes, I need to bring in that positive experience. You got to come out of the vortex of trauma and come into the vortex of worthiness, of healing. And that's a decision, a courageous decision that you make. And you go back, and then you make a decision to go into the positive worthiness feeling, and you let go, and then that arrow, that intention, goes to your target, which is self-esteem and self-love and self-acceptance and self-forgiveness. Are you hearing me? All right. I woke up with this inspiration for you, and so please keep joining me. Please join my group, Positive Self-Culture, Relationship Culture, and Family Culture, where we are here to support each other. And like my page, Courageous Conversations. And you can find me on visualizationworks.com, which of course is my website, where you can pick up my books, which are Find Your Self-Culture, where I talk about this in spades, and Connecting, Rewire Your Relationship Culture, where I talk about how to do a relationship in a positive way. And not only a positive relationship in dating, but in marriage, and also Relationship Rescue 911, and how to fight fairly. So that's all in my second book. In my first book, it's all about, really finding your self-culture, who you are. And I just want you to, I want us to heal the planet together. Let's do that, okay? But the only way we can heal the planet together is if we ourselves are feeling full. So take in the love, take in the joy, and take in the worthiness, self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance. Okay? Have a fantastic day. Bye for now. Love you.